Welcome to Ganita Sutras Mathematics on First Principle. Today, Lesson 3, we will be taking up three aspects. One will be the applied values, how we can write tables 100 up to 100 and even 1000 up to 1000 in terms of the first principle of Ganita Sutra 1 together with the first Ganita Sutra. The second aspect will be that we will start preparing Vedic mathematics referencer. Each one of us shall open a new notebook, title it Vedic mathematics referencer, and in it we will go on adding all the values, all the features, and all what we will learn and all what we will be face to face with the values of Ganita Sutra's text, its organization and mathematics. And third aspect which we'll be covering today is TCV values. It is a concept with respect to which we have to learn, as in terms of it the mathematics of Ganita Sutras starts unfolding itself for its real bliss and real height of the Vedic order. As we have been today enjoying having a bliss with the Vedic mathematics prayer, with the recitation in a chorus, in a rhythm, the text of Ganita Sutras and Ganita Upsutras. There are 16 sutras and there are 13 Upsutras. 16 sutras and 13 Upsutras together make a complete text. This text is the prayer. These 29 sutras are the 29 steps in which the whole Vedic mathematical domain has been organized. Let us make an entry, first entry in our Vedic mathematics referencer notebook. The statement be written: knowledge and organization of knowledge run parallel to each other. It is the first principle of Vedic knowledge, Vedic systems and Vedic mathematics. If one poses to oneself as to what is the first principle of Vedic mathematics, Vedic systems, Vedic knowledge, then one is to say it is that knowledge and organization of knowledge run parallel to each other. Now this principle means that when we will be through the text of Eka Adhikena Purve, then we will be confronted with a composition Eka Adhikena Purve. This is a composition of 9 plus 7 is equal to 16 letters. Let us arrange them as per the working rule, mathematical rule of the Ganita Sutra 1 itself, one more than before. Therefore, it is one by one that we will be tabulating these letters. So first letter A will have a first placement, second letter Ka will have second placement, and like that we will reach up till the 16th letter O. Therefore, the organization of Ekadhiken Purven as it is of 16 letters, of 16 steps, availing 16 letters, and the organization, sequential organization, step-by-step organization of this particular text sequentially takes us in 16 steps, starting with the first letter and reaching up till the 16th letter. Now, this first letter and the 16th letter, then see here in this tabulation we have added another row, a third row, which we have written TCV. This TCV full form is Transcendental Code Value. Transcendental Code Value. Transcendental Code Values. Therefore, the real mathematics the inherent features of the mathematics imbibed, the mathematics within the folds of these texts is actually preserved by the code. The code inherent which is being availed by Vedic mathematics of Ganita Sutra is designated as transcendental code. This transcendental code associates values, and these values are associated to the letters of Devanagari alphabet. Therefore, let us make a note in our Vedic mathematics referencer that TCV abbreviation is of the full form transcendental code value. Transcendental code value has equivalent Sanskrit, Hindi nomenclature as Divya Ank Vyavastha. Divya Ank Vyavastha. Therefore, with this Divya Ank Vyavastha, the Ganita Sutras mathematics unfolds itself. It is this Divya Ank Vyavastha which we have to learn if we want to reach at the height of the bliss attainment of the mathematics of Ganita Sutras. Then let us write down that transcendental code values code means there are transcendental values, there are Divya Ank, and these are taking us to a particular code, particular organization. These Divya Anks are of values 1 to 16. So 1 to 16 values, as there are 16 letters here and there are 16 Ganita Sutras, so value 16 is the value which is being reached from 1 to 16, and 1 plus 16 gives us the value 17, and this 17 is the TCV value of the formulation Divya. The formulation Divya is of value 17, means TCV value of formulation Divya is 17. It is 1 plus 16, and 17 also is the TCV value of the formulation Atma. Therefore, we have to now learn today as to how these values are reached at. Let us make an entry in our Vedic mathematics referencer that each word is a mathematical formulation. Each word is a mathematical formulation. This mathematical formulation unfolds itself in terms of the transcendental code values associated with the individual letters whose summation takes us to the TCV value of the formulation. Say the word Atma. It is a word, its TCV value is 17, and this TCV value is equal to the summation value of the TCV values of the individual letters. Therefore, let us make a note that each letter of Devanagari alphabet accepts association of a transcendental code value. Therefore, now as first aspect which we want to learn is a tables, but before that we are coming to TCV values for making our referencer being up to date, which takes us sequentially and makes us up to date sequentially, and then after this pure values learning we will coming to the applied values of writing the tables. Now TCV values. Let us note down that TCV values full form is transcendental code values. These transcendental code values have Hindi equivalence, Sanskrit equivalence, Divya Ank Vyavastha. As per this transcendental code values, each of the letters of the Devanagari alphabet is associated a number value. There are 50 letters of Devanagari alphabet. Of these, 9 are vowels, and then there are 5 cross 5 25 Varga consonants, and in addition to these Varga consonants are 4 Anthastha letters and 4 Ushmana letters and 8 Yama letters. Therefore, let us make a note that Devanagari alphabet is an alphabet of 50 letters. These 50 letters are grouped and classified as 9 vowels and consonants 33 and Yama letters 8. 9 vowels, 33 consonants and 8 Yama letters. 33 consonants are further organized and classified as 25 Varga consonants, 4 Anthastha letters and 4 Ushmana letters. Now, as per the rule, working rule, mathematics of Eka Adhikain Purvain, one more than before, are going step by step or one step at a time. So with it, we are availing the correspondence rule that if we are having one jar with certain entity or pebbles and we have another jar with entities and pebbles, then we can have associate a correspondence. We can have a functions here. We can have the transformations here. This aspect is being availed that these letters, the 9 vowels, are being associated values 1 to 9. So these 9 vowels are being sequenced with the help of values 1 to 9. Then there are 25 Varga consonants. These are 5 rows of 5 letters each. The first row is associated values 1 to 5. The second row gives a sequential shift as a second step. By symmetry, we reach at 2, 3, 4, 5. At step ahead, we reach at value 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And finally 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thereafter, there are 4 Anthastha letters, which are Ya, Va, Ra, La. These are associated by symmetry 1, 3, 5, and 7. Thereafter, we reach at the Ushmana letters, which as a second sequential form takes us to 3, 6, and 9. Finally, the Yama letters are associated values 9 to 16. For the present, let us stop here as far as the association of the transcendental code values 1 to 16 in a grouping of the letters of the alphabet letters and association thereof. Further aspects of it, further mathematics of it, further pure values of it, further applied values of it, and all other further higher dimensional aspects of this association of values and their consequences and their implications, we will be coming it afterwards. For today, let us note down that the 50 letters of Devanagari alphabet are grouped as 9 vowels and are associated values 1 to 9, or in terms of values 1 to 9, these are sequenced. Then there are 25 Varga consonants. These are 5 rows of 5 letters each, and these are associated values 1 to 5, 2 to 6, 3 to 7, 4 to 8, and 5 to 9 respectively. Then it is followed by quadruple Anthastha letters. These are associated values 1, 3, 5, and 7. And thereafter there are Ushmana letters. These are also 4 in number, and these are also associated values 2, 3, 6, and 9. Finally, there are 8 Yama letters, and these are associated values 9 to 16. Now let us make a special note that of these letters, the first consonant Ka is associated value 1, but the here 1 is a sole syllable O. It is of 4 quarters, and when it unfolds, it becomes Brahma. It becomes a overlord of a creator's space, a 4 space. And further, when it unfolds, it gets associated value 5, which is value equal to the transcendental code value, and it is of Shiva. So when we say Ka Brahma, means we associate value 4. When we say Ka Shiv, we attach it value 5. And in the Anthastha letters, the letter Ra, it is of value 3, but is of 3 sequential folds. It is of these 3 sequential forms, and in it they get the values 1, 2, and 3 respectively. So these 50 letters with these association of values, with this triple association of values with the letter Ka and triple association of values with the letter Ra, we can have at this particular stage, the initial stage, the initiation of reaching at the transcendental code values. Now, in this respect, we shall revisit the text of Ganita Sutra Ekadhiken Purve. For it, the first step to be mentioned is that let us put these letters in a tabulation form, and this tabulation form shall be as with first row as serial number, second row as letters, and third row as TCV values. So it is easy that let us write down these letters in the sequence in which these are availed for this composition, and we'll write 1 to 16. Say first letter O, then the Ko, then O. Like that we can write. But as far as the TCV value is concerned, for it we have to go for the location of these letters in Devanagari alphabet. The first letter O is the letter which is a vowel, and it is of a 6th placement in the array of the vowels, and it is value 6. Therefore, as the first letter A of Ekadhiken Purven is of 6th placement in the arrangement organization of 9 vowels, as such it's a 6th placement, and association of value 6 with it gives us a transcendental code value for this particular first letter. Therefore, in the third column, beneath this first letter, serial number 1, a first letter A, it associates value 6. Now, the second letter Ka is a placement in the Varga consonants. It is a placement is here. It is this placement where it has value 1 as a O, but when it unfolds, it becomes value 4 as a Ka Brahma. This is the reason why this value gets 4. And one can have a pause here and take note that the inner unfolding organization of the text of the Ganita Sutras as Ka, a sole syllable Om of 4 components unfolding itself as of value 4, as of value creator space, as of the values and features of Lord Brahma, the overlord of the creator's space, the 4th space. We will coming to all these features. All these features have to be visited. All these features have to be imbibed. We have to be face to face with all these features, and it is only thereafter that we can be absorbing the full bliss of the mathematical domain of Ganita Sutras. So like that, we can reach at this table. Therefore, it is going to be a blissful exercise that we shall reach at this table. Let us make serial number, then put the letters, and then put the transcendental code values. And if we are successful with few attempts, with minor attention, with gentle steps, if we can reach at this tabulation for the text of Ganita Sutra 1, and like that for Ganita Sutra 1, and subsequently for each and every sutra and in each and every Upsutra, then really we will be having a transcendental format unfolded for ourselves, tabulated for ourselves, for being face to face with the internal transcendental code values expansion of the mathematical domain of the Ganita Sutras. This aspect here. Now let us see how we reach at the applied values. The beautiful thing is, let us know the value 1 more than before. It sequentially takes us to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and ahead. We can say that it is table 1. It is the first tabulation. This is table 1. Now the symmetry rule we know will help us reach at value 2, 1 more than 4, 1 more 6, 1 more 8, 1 more 10, and so on. Likewise, the symmetry rule will help us reach at table 3 as 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. One can have a pause here and take note that these steps reach from table 1 to table 2 to table 3 as well is at present in this form may look like a jump, but these can be chased very gently step by step on the first principles by the rule of one more than before. So this, by the rule of one more than before, we can reach at these particular tabulations which will take us further for value 4, 8, 16, and like that we are reaching at 8, 12 and 16 and value 5. It will look like as if what is the new in it. But now let us have a pause and see what is new in it. The new in it is that the Ganita Sutra 1 gives us a progression from in this orientation, and with the help of the Ganita Sutra 1 we can have an opposite orientation. Therefore, for 9 numerals reach, we can see that in first orientation we will have a reach at 5, but in the second orientation we are having actually 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, and it is this reverse orientation. It is here we can have a pause. We can see that it makes value 10, it also makes value 10, it also makes value 10, it also makes value 10, and it also makes a value 10. Therefore, these are complementary of each other. Therefore, the pattern in it, the system in it, the organization in it is that if we are reaching from 1 to 10, then reaching at 2 is a one step ahead, and reaching at 9 is a one step behind. Therefore, 9 is nothing but 10 minus 1. It is one step backward, and it is that if we write this as a 1 as a first digit, and at the second digit if we write 1 as a bar. Now make a note in our referencer that parallel to the value plus 1 we write simply 1, and parallel to it the minus 1 is written as a 1 bar. So it is just a technique, it is just a method. So it has a method that the negative numerals, we call it 1 as a positive numeral, minus 1 as a negative numeral, 2 as a positive numeral, minus 2 as a minus numeral, and like that we can reach at. Therefore, instead of working with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 9, 6, 7, 8 and 9, we can work with 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can work with minus 4, and we can write it like this. It is 10 minus 4. A step ahead, 7 is going to be 10 minus 3. A step ahead, 12. This bar, this is 10 minus 2. Then it is this, it is 10 minus 1. So it is 6, it is 7, it is 8, and it is 9. Now see the beauty of this pattern. Once we are face to face with it, once we are absorbing it, then we see if we have to write the table of a 9, we can write it as 10 minus 1, or we can write it 1 and 1 bar. Therefore, this table of 9 taking of this form, we can take the working rule is 1 and 1 bar, and the first term that of whose table we have to write, it will be 0 and 9. Then this will give it that go on increasing 1, it will 1. It means go on decreasing 1, it will give 8. A further step we add 1. At further step we subtract 1. At next step we reach at 3. At next step we reach at 36. So it is the first term of the table, it is the second term, it is the third term, and it is the fourth term, and these terms are being reached at in terms of this way, this technique of expression of 0,9 value. The facility of it is that we have to work only not with the big numeral 9. Instead, we have to work with a numeral +1 and numeral -1. Therefore, the table of 9 can be written by having conversion for 0,9 into this particular form, and then this indicates that there is to be increase in this column and there is to be decrease in column. If we have to write the table of 8, then we'll first convert it into this form, 1 into 2 bar. It will be the working rule. It will give us that in this column we have to go on to add 1, and here in this column we have to subtract 2. Therefore the next item will be 1 and a 6. Here next step will be 2 and 4, and the next step will be 3 and 2, and like that we will proceed. And we have to write the table of 7, then we will convert it into 1 into 3 bar. Means we are making a rule that we will go on adding 1 here, and we go on subtracting 3, means we will getting 4, then it is getting 1. Now I am intentionally stopping at some terms so that the rule of carry forward and rule of carry backward is to be applied. And we know if we revisit the text of Ganita Sutra and Ganita Sutra 1, then we know it means one more than before. This before and after is the concept which is inherent in this particular formulation. Before and after, one more than the previous one. So one more than the previous one, concept of before and after, concept of reversal of an orientation, and concept of inserting a mirror at the middle and having object and image, so that instead of the full range of 9 vowels, we are successful to work it within half number of vowels, say up to half number of the vowels and half numbers of the numerals. So these all rules, these all implications, these all processing steps, in fact, are the processing steps which take us to the working rule for writing the tables. So beautifully we can write the table of 1 as 1, 2, 3 and so on. And if we want to write the table of 11, then we are having second column as a repeated. Therefore this rule of Ekadike is being repeated, and this gives us the table of 11. If we want to write the table of 12, then we write 1, 2, 3 and 4, and by symmetry we write 2, 4 and 6. If we want to write the table of 13, we write 1, 2, 3, and then we write 3, 6 and 9 by a symmetry. Like that, if we want to write the table of a 9, then we know we can write it as a table with the rule 1 cross 1. So we go on increasing 1 here and go on decreasing 1 here. If we want to write the table of 8, we can work with a 1 increase and the 2 decrease. Like that, we see that we are attacking the bigger numerals and having their conversion into the smaller numeral. So the values 1, 2, 3, 4 and their negatives -1, -2, -3 and -4. Once these are available to us, then we can very smoothly, machine-like, mechanically column wise, just go on adding and go on subtracting these smaller values, and we are writing at the tables. Tomorrow we will continue from this phase and stage when we will write down the numbers 1 to 100 in this conversion form, which ultimately is designated as a vinculum system.